First of all, group 6 will gonna introduce ourselves. Start from me. My name is Sania Dela Asya.
My name is Nada Afifah.
My name is Sareka.
My name is Diksi Afif Revianto.
My name is Anufatur Rahma.
My name is Benarsa Praboso.
Now, as you can see on the screen, our topic is nonverbal communication. The table of contents that we will present are: first, what is nonverbal communication? 2. The difference between verbal and nonverbal communication. 3. Importance and power of nonverbal communication. 4. Form of nonverbal communication. And last, 5. Nonverbal communication around the world. First, we're gonna start from nonverbal communication meaning. What is nonverbal communication? Nonverbal communication is communication without words. Nonverbal communication is process of communication through sending and receiving wordless meaning. Next, number 2 is the difference between verbal and nonverbal communication. Before moving forward, let's keep in your mind that verbal communication and nonverbal communication are interconnected and they operate together in communication.
Now, the subject of my presentation is importance and power of nonverbal communication. First is importance of nonverbal communication. The importance of nonverbal communication is very influential in our daily life. Why? Because nonverbal communication play an important role in how people interact with any others. People are using 35% of verbal communication and 65% of nonverbal communication. So, nonverbal communication is more used than verbal communication. So, nonverbal communication it's not just a words or language, but it is include all things that we can understand. We can understand the thing without people saying. For example, the picture, the maps, and body language or the writing of a document. Example, the writing of documents. We can hear the people who's saying the letter, but we can read the letter, what the writer write in the letter, and we understand how the purpose, the message, the information of the letter from the writer, like that. Okay, next slide. Here there is a quote by Peter F. Drucker. He said, "The most important thing in communication to hear what isn't being said." What the mean of the quotes? What Peter Drucker mean by saying that communication is not solely about what people say, but more about how that person conveys his message in any way. So he said also, sometimes being silent or doing nothing is also communication. Okay, next slide is talk about power of nonverbal communication. Nonverbal communication is most powerful in form of communication. More than voice or even words, nonverbal communication helps us to create the image in other mind, and even you can express your feelings or you can express your emotions in front of other people, which you are unable saying with words. Like if you can to speak, to tell about anything with other people without saying by mouth with other people, it's fine. It's powerful of nonverbal communication.
Here I will explain about the form of nonverbal communication. The first one is eye contact. Eye contact is a key characteristic of nonverbal communication. It expresses much without using a single word. In American culture, maintaining eye contact shows respect and indicate interest. Eye contact also establishes the nature of a relationship. And next is facial expression. Your facial expression can communicate happiness, sadness, anger, or fear. Facial expression allow individuals to share a message through the use of their eyes, eyebrows, mouth, and facial muscles. When an individual is smiling or frowning, rolling their eyes, or scowling, we might be able to interpret the message further, especially if these expressions are used while they are speaking. Emotions are easily communicated through facial expression, which further boosts our understanding of an individual message.
Posture and you carry yourself tells a lot about you. How you walk, sit, stand, or hold your head not only indicates your current mood, but also your personality in general. For example, if you cross your arm while standing, you indicate that you might be closed off and defensive. Meanwhile, working with your head down and avoiding eye contact with other might indicate shyness. Next, haptic or touch. Haptic communication is communicating by touch. Touch or haptic is the characteristic of non-verbal communication and used when we come into physical contact with other people. For example, we use handshakes to gain trust and introduce yourself. Thank you.
Here I will explain about a gesture. Gesture is a characteristic of nonverbal communication in which visible body action. Communication particular message. Gesture include movement of the hands, face, or the parts of the body. And F. Personal space. Personal space is your bubble, the space, your place between yourself and others. This impossible boundary becomes apparent only when someone bumps or tries to enter your bubble.
Example nonverbal communication around the world. 1. Nonverbal communication in China. The Chinese don't like being touched by strangers. Therefore don't make any body contact. 2. Nonverbal communication in Pakistan. Expressing happiness, respect, and love for others. 3. Nonverbal communication in Argentina. Handshake and no show respect when greeting someone. 4. Nonverbal communication in India. Greeting with a namaste, placing both hands together with a slight bow is a very common nonverbal communication and show respect. 5. Nonverbal communication in the USA, which informal way of nonverbal communication, a handshake, a smile, and hello.
Okay, we've come to the end. So, in conclusion, is nonverbal communication as important as verbal communication? And many factors in communication must all be considered. Thank you very much for your great attention to you all who watching this video. So, goodbye.